Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. I'm Kim, a fairly average mum, and today I'm back, and also I thought I'd show you my knitting haul. Okay, so let's get cracking. Hello, I hope you're all okay. I've not been doing so well, if truth be known. I've been really tired. I think it hit me, all the changes that have gone on over the past sort of couple of years in my life, and one thing and another, and I just got really down in the dumps. So rather than sort of upset everybody, I sort of didn't film. But also, I'm really sorry if I did worry anybody. It occurred to me when people had tried contacting my daughters that people were genuinely worried about me. So my heartfelt apologies for worrying anybody. I were okay. I were just really down in the dumps. Also, my picture fell off the wall, right? So it's down at the back of this unit. I'm gonna have to get something more permanent to put my Emsby picture back up. Nippy's still here. God love her, she needs a dusting. I had to dust all this. Look, there's still dust on it. Goodness me. Absolutely minging. What am I? There were like a layer of dust along here when backdrop is, just because I've not been filming. So, yeah, I've just let the dust settle. And it does settle. Every single week there's a new layer of dust, right? So I've sort of semi-dusted that and got myself, this is the first time I've sort of partially straightened my hair since I've been missing. Okay, I've just been letting it grow wild. I also had to spray my roots with this stuff. Where is it? Where are your stuff? This. Okay, because this is what I use when I can't be bothered going to hairdressers. So I haven't been to hairdressers in best part of 2 months. So my roots are particularly bad. So I've had to spray over all my white, you know. Anyway, right. So, yeah, I'm back. I'm tentatively back. I think what I'm planning to do is sort of do a video a week just till I get back into it. You know what I mean, right? So I'm filming this on Sunday, and yesterday all I did were knitting. This is what I've been doing with my time, knitting. Right, okay. I know loads of people that are having babies at the moment. I think it's part of the thing when you work with 1, younger women, and 2, in childcare. You do get to know a lot of people that are having babies. So because my attention span can't sort of last long enough to be able to knit something for myself, look at me, I'm flushed. This is what happens when you've been gone for a while. I haven't even got any lippy on. I drew my eyebrows back on and put a bit of mascara on. That's all I've done. Right, so, yeah, when you work in childcare, you do know quite a lot of people that are having babies. So I thought, right, my attention span doesn't stretch to knitting something for myself. I'll knit some baby clothes, and then I've got gifts for people and stuff like that. Although 90% of these don't have buttons on them. I have got a bag of buttons. Hang on, I've got them here as well. Bag of buttons. I went out with my youngest daughter the other day, about 2 weeks ago now, and bought a load of buttons for the things that needed buttons on. I've got some really cute ones. Where's the little rabbits? I love these little rabbits. Okay. So little rabbits, look. Yeah, so I bought a load of buttons to be able to put them on. I'm proper flushed now. Wow, right. So yeah, I'm going to show you what I've been knitting. Okay, so I've been buying wool off the Knitting Network. All right, which is an online store. They're not sponsoring this. This is just something I've been doing. And I've been buying enough wool each time I get paid to last me sort of the month. So baby wool basically, and then I was buying knitting patterns from there, but I prefer it when I can sort of look at the knitting pattern and what it entails. So I found a shop near to where I live, which is an haberdashery shop that it does sell wool, but it's not quite so soft as some of the wool that I can get online. And but it does sell knitting patterns and stitch holders, because I've been using safety pins up until I got some stitch holders. And it also sells all these knitting patterns, like I say, buttons, what have you. I've probably repeated myself half a dozen times there, but anyway. Yeah, so it sells all these things. So I've been buying knitting patterns from there and just having a nice old time sitting knitting. All right. As far as my arm goes, right, I've got like a bit of a problem with my arm going on at the moment as well. After my injury, in that my hand is tipping inwards. So the knitting kind of helps with, it does a bit of physio for my hand, stopping it tipping in so much. So I don't know if you can, I probably can't even see it, but here there's like a bump on it. And I can't sort of straighten it outwards as much as I would like to be able to do. But for the most part, you know, it's on the mend. Still have to take painkillers from time to time. Right, let me show you what I've been knitting. Okay, I'm not an expert knitter. I'm not. And yeah, you probably see that from me knitting. Really not an expert knitter. I can't crochet. Well, I can, but I can't follow a crochet pattern. So I'm stuck with knitting. All right, and I can only do what I can do. So let me put my gigs on, right? I've had to dust these as well because I haven't had these on my face in ages. Right, I'll just grab my pile of knitting, show you. This is it, right, okay. It's huge. All right, I've been busy. So this is a little cardigan that I knit. That were an hard pattern, I'm not even going to lie. Every single blinking row, because it's got this cable down front and then this bit. On the front bits were different. It drove me nuts. She had about 8 rows and I couldn't memorise them because as soon as I'd memorised them, you then have to start bringing it in for this raglan sleeve. Drove me nuts, that pattern. But anyway, I got it done. So that's a little minty green one. Looks proper cute though. I do like it now it's finished. We'll never knit the pattern again though because it's a pest. And then this was the first one that I knit, but I got these little bright yellow flowers to go down the front. This were a really quite an easy pattern to do. I think it had 4 rows because it just repeats itself over and over again. Bit of moss stitch at bottom, moss stitch collar. Just thought it was dead cute, like that one. I've actually knit some booties and some mittens for this as well, and a bonnet, I think. I might have done. Right, but I haven't got the ribbons and the and stuff for them yet, so I won't show you those yet, but at some point in the future I will show you them. Right, so that's my second one. Then I did this little crossover cardigan, right, that's got, this edge took longer than the blinking cardigan did to knit, but I really liked it. I put some little duckies buttons on it here. It needs a press stud there, but I keep forgetting to buy a press stud, so that's another one in yellow. That second one that I showed you, that is just like, I think it's called Little Isle, I-S-L-E, you know, like island, by Emu, that wool. This were from the haberdashery shop, but it's not quite so soft as some of the other wools that I can get. Show you by comparison, this one is super soft. This one is a bit thicker, not quite so much. They're all double knitting. Right, I can't be bothered doing 2-ply, 3-ply, 4-ply, right? At my attention, like I say, is not that great. So I want to be able to knock these things up in space of half a day. You know what I mean? So anyway, I've done that one. Really thought it was cute. But I think the wool could have done with being a bit softer, like this softness. Like I say, that's that Little Isle one. Made 2 blankets. So there's this grey one here that's also not such good wool. I did buy this online, but yeah, it's not so soft. I think this is a Hayfield one. All these are acrylics. And it's quite an easy pattern, sort of a cot blanket size. There we go, in grey. Because, you know, some people are right into grey, aren't they? You know, so I thought, do a grey one and then that'll be cute. But when I first bought some of this wool, I didn't check whether it were 50 gram balls or 100 gram balls. So some of the wool, I ended up buying 200 gram balls, whereas actually I needed 1. So then I'm stuck with all the same wool. So I've been making up patterns and stuff like that to use up the wool. So this little grey cardigan needs buttons on it, but this is actually quite a cute pattern to knit. I also did it in mustard, and it'll show you the pattern a bit better on the mustard one. All the sort of, these little bits are in the wool, you know what I mean, in the yarn, if that's what we're calling it. But it's quite an easy pattern to knit up, that one. So I did that in a slightly bigger size, and I bought this mustard wool, which is the softest wool ever. This is emu as well, baby soft stuff. It's also got some of my hair on. So this is the same pattern as the grey one. Can you see it's just that yoke bit? All the rest is in stocking stitch with a bit of ribbing round the bottom and stuff. But I really like this one because it's dead soft. It's not your traditional baby colour, but you know, I just I bought it. That's it, right? This one, the next two were a use up of yarn. So this, I just made up this pattern based on another pattern that I'd got, and then put stripes in it to use up some of the yarn I'd got. So it's like that multicoloured one, but I just did it in stocking stitch instead, and put stripes in it so that it'd use up this yarn. Now, some of the yarn on this I got from the range when I was out with my daughter one day. I don't rate it, absolutely don't rate it. It's not soft at all. Feels a bit like dishcloth, you know what I mean, when you've knit it up, which is why I've sort of interspersed it with these softer yarns to make this little one. Got some cute buttons for that as well. This were also a use up with the mint wool that I had, right? So I just made this little short sleeved one to use up what I'd got, with this sort of frill round it. It's from the same pattern as the crossover cardigan, but just did it in stocking stitch. Little short sleeve. Thought it was dead cute. It's only tiny. Oh, bless. Can you imagine a baby fitting in that? Honestly, you forget how small babies are. I do. Because I work with children. At the moment, I'm in like the toddler room. So the 2 to 3 year olds, I still see them as babies. Do you know what I mean? In fact, sometimes I say to them, yes, baby, like that to them. And they always go to me, I'm not a baby, right? But to me, they are, you know what I mean? Mind you, I still think of my kids as babies, and my son's 30 now. So, yeah, so you forget how tiny they are though. And that's not even like a tiny size. That's a 0 to 3 months, that. Look at it, it's mini. Anyway, there's that one. This one I just finished yesterday. So this is a little sort of patterns one. Did make a mistake in it. So when I went it in the back, here, there should have been 2 more rows of garter stitch. But by the time I'd finished it, I thought, yeah, I'm just going to make the rest to match. So every single one of them is missing the 2 rows of garter stitch. But since it ended up being quite long for quite a narrow cardie, I didn't mind anyway, you know what I mean? Thought that was quite cute. That's a cute pattern. I liked knitting this one. This were a nice, it kept me busy, you know what I mean? Because you only do so many rows of each pattern. Oh, I made another mistake here, right? Pull the hair off it, Kim. So on the bottom here, it should have been the 2 rows of rib, then 2 rows of garter stitch, but I did it 2 rows of stocking stitch. So that bit should have a line in it. But I don't think it looks too bad now I've made it, you know what I mean? I don't think, you know, like I always say, a man on a galloping horse wouldn't notice, you know? And I've made it to match on all sides, so it's not like it's got holes in it or the front don't match the back. I've just made it to match all the way around, following my own sort of pattern, which were a pattern mistake. Right, next up I made this one. This is what I've been doing with my time. Honestly, absolutely hopeless, aren't I? Made this little cardie, which it said were mint when I ordered it online, the wool, but it's not. It's like turquoise colour, and it's got buttonholes down, but they're hidden in the rib. So yeah, that were an easy pattern to do as well, because it's only got the pattern on the bottom and then it's just stocking stitch, you know. But I thought it was cute. A lot of these have got raglan sleeves. I don't know why that is on baby knits. If you know, will you let me know, please? Because I'm not entirely sure why a lot of them have got like sort of a raglan sleeve. Which way am I going? That way out. But they have. I've dropped some on floor. Okay. This is the other one that I knit from that pattern that's got this frilly edge. thought that were dead cute. My daughter, actually, our Rose, picked this colour. She said, get that colour, that's really sweet. So I got it. Although now I'm highly focused on doing some sort of first size, sort of lemon, white and cream. But I do like this, slightly bigger size. I've been doing them in different sizes because, like, I know 3 people that are having babies. I don't want to inundate them with all first size and all white and cream because a baby grows out that size really quickly. So I thought I'd do them in different sort of colourways and stuff. And since none of these ladies know whether they're having boys or girls yet, I've just been knitting sort of generic ones. Once they know whether they're having a boy or girl, I'll do some pinks and blues or whatever else. You know what I mean? Although, to be fair, I think you can put any baby in that. That'd go with a boy or a girl, I think. Maybe it's a bit sort of girly around the top. But anyway, I would have put either my boy or my girls in that. So, yeah, it's got little pearly buttons on. So that's another one. Then this is the yarn, like I say, that I got from the range, and I don't rate it because when I knit it, this, goodness me, there's another hair. My daughter the other day, she was looking at them, she was picking out all my hair that's been knitted into them. Right, this is the yarn that I got from the range. Now, the problem is, it goes like, it's gone like a cropped one. I've knit it according to the same pattern as this next one I'm going to show you, but it's sort of, it's a bit like it's been, you know what I mean? It keeps shortening and getting wider and wider. But anyway, it's got 2 little rabbit buttons on. Yeah, I could have done with getting sort of cream buttons, but I had white ones, so I've put them on. Just thought it were really sweet. Even as a cropped, you know what I mean? So this is the pattern I actually knit it from. But this was the first thing that I knit when I got back into knitting. This one, I didn't realise how big it was going to be. Do you see what I mean? It's much longer and less wide. Same pattern, but in different yarn, but in a much bigger size. I've got some little toggle buttons for this. Let me show you my toggle buttons. These little grey toggle buttons are going on this. Thought they'd be dead cute. Don't fall off now. Yeah, right. So, but I didn't realise how big it was going to be. So this could fit a 2-year-old. Do you know what I mean? Right, it's massive. Which I didn't realise it was going to be that big. But, yeah, sadly it is. Well, I say sadly. You know, these children are going to grow to be a bigger size, aren't they? You know what I mean? So perhaps the mums will be really pleased with having, like, a bigger sort of size once they've grown. And then I made this blanket, which is, because I'd bought so much of this sort of multicoloured, I thought, I've got so much left, what am I going to do with it? So I knit this blanket. So it's basically stocking stitch with a lining, with just one lining. There's an alarm going to come past. Bet you've missed that, haven't you? Yeah, so it's sort of a pram blanket size. Thought it was dead cute. But because I used 2 different yarns, so there's like a darker one that I made sort of a striping as well. This darker one. So I basically used that and that colour that I'd got left to combine to make this. Each side had 80 ends. Down both sides I had 80 ends that I'd got to sew in order to make that. It took nearly as long to sew the ends in as it did to make the blanket, but actually I quite like the blanket now I've made it. I think it's really sweet. I'm going to knit green because one of the people that is having a baby is either having a green or a navy pram. So at some point I'm wanting to knit some pram blankets for her. But I knit these anyway because I had the yarn and I thought, yeah, an extra blanket always comes in handy, doesn't it? That'll go with most colours as well. And then last up on my list of things that I've knit, I also knit this bigger than sort of a tiny baby size because I bought a pattern, but it was from 6 months up. So I bought it the smallest, I knit it the smallest size. And it's this little one, which is also in that little aisle. Now, this is the pattern that's like that blanket in that it's sort of stocking stitch with a garter stitch line in it. So, yeah, that's what that is. But all the colour and everything is in the yarn. So I just thought it was dead cute. So, but it's a much bigger one. So that's also a 6 months-ish size. So that's what I've been doing with my time. I've just finished as well another one in cream. Another cardigan in cream. I'm going to show you some of my patterns that I actually did, just in case you're wanting to have a go at these, right? So James C. Brett, and it's this one here. That's the grey cardigan and the white one that I got the yarn from the range. That pattern there, which is a King Cole one, in, where's the number? Right, that's the number there, is the one that I did all the ones with the little edging on. It's number 2885. The James C. Brett is JB234, sorry. Or the little turquoise one is this Peter Gregory 7202 one. I mean, there's loads of other stuff that I could make from these patterns. This is the one that I did the mustard and also that grey patterny one is JB681 from, yeah, James C. Brett. This one is the one of the multicoloured ones with the moss stitch collar, and that is a Snuggly 3949. Okay, that one. I've knit these and those and the bonnet, yeah. Right, okay. This is the little white one that I knit that I made a mistake on. Peter Gregory 7212. So I just follow all this malarkey inside, you know what I mean? I'm not like, I haven't made these up myself. I am just following the pattern. This is the one that is that stocking stitch one with a moss stitch line, is an Emu Treasure Little Isle. That's that pattern, you know, the multicoloured yarn. And that's 2033. All these, like I say, knitting patterns. This one is the one that was super difficult to do, that were in that minty green. This was, it's UKHKA. I don't know how you pronounce it. And it's 137, that one. And then these ones I've been knitting as well, right? So I've knit some bonnets and booties from this King Cole pattern, which is 5419, that's got all different ones, look. You can knit all different booties and bonnets and stuff from that. And these are my ones that I'm knitting next, which are a King Cole 5085. I'll show you the back, look at that. It's got little frills and a little frock on it. So if I know any of these ladies are having a little girl, I'm straight in with that one. This is the thing I'm going to knit next, which is a King Cole one. But look at that little cape. How cute's that? My daughter spotted it. My youngest daughter, Rose, she spotted it. So I'm going to knit that next. And that's 3778. But they've also got all these other patterns on. And then this one, which I bought online, which is also a King Cole one in 5728. Look at that. It's got like a top, a little pair of trousers, and they've got little frills round. Can you see? Little frilly bits going round, and then that hat with the two pom-poms. I've got to get myself a pom-pom maker at some point in order to do pom-poms for all my bonnets and everything. Anyway, that's my big knitting haul. I don't think I've ever done a knitting haul before on my channel, but then I don't think I've ever been missing for quite so long. Do you know what I mean? I'm so sorry. Like I say, if I worried anybody, all I've been doing is sitting here knitting. Okay, that's it. The light's fading as well. I can see it's going. I've at least done my laundry today. You know what I mean? Because last Sunday when I was sitting, I realised at about 6 o'clock I'd not even washed my work clothes for the next day because I'd been so absorbed with knitting that it had gone astray. So on Monday morning I'm there with hairdryer trying to dry my clothes for work, but at least my clothes are over airing now, so that tomorrow I've got dry clothes. This is another thing I wanted to tell you. So I've changed my shift, so I'm still at the second place that I went to, and I've changed my shift, so I'm doing 5 days instead of 4 days, but shorter shifts, because I've realised that I'm knocking on a bit, and the long shifts sort of from 7:30 till 5:30 were actually doing me in, and my patients were going. So Now I'm doing 5 days, sorry, but shorter shifts. So, but hopefully going forward, I'll be filming each weekend. And depending, I've just wanted to make at least one video so that I can get it put up. Now, I'm also going to do some intros because I actually filmed some videos before I went missing that are still sitting waiting to be uploaded. So what I might do is upload those videos, but I'll put an intro letting you know that it is actually a video from sort of 2 months ago, but you've never seen it before, if you see what I mean. Okay, so if I'm talking about it being sweltering heat, you'll know why. We're not suddenly having an heat wave in Yorkshire. You know what I mean? It is just that, so I've got a couple of videos, maybe 3 even, that I filmed previously. So if I can get those edited as well, I'll put an intro explaining and then I'll get those uploaded. But going forward, new content and yeah, hopefully that's it going forward. I'm not going to need to take any more breaks. I just really needed a rest. You know, I did. I think it just hit me, all the changes that have gone on in my life since forever. I'm trying to think of a time that there wasn't like one disaster following another. My sister once said to me, your life goes from one disaster to the next. And I thought, you're telling me like I don't know. Do you know what I mean? Right. So that were a years ago, that. But yeah, so I just think this is sort of par for the course, but I did need a break. And now I'm back. I'm feeling uplifted, rested, and much more centered. You know, I really needed to sort of center myself. I feel like this is my home now, and I didn't for the longest time. I just felt like I was sort of it wasn't my place to live, and that my life was just sort of not my life anymore, you know, with all the changes. But I feel much more centered now and much happier. So going forward, I'll slap a bit more makeup on in future so that I don't look quite so ghostly. And by Christmas, you won't even realise I've been gone. You know what I mean? You'll be sick to death of me by Christmas. But anyway, that's everything for today. Please accept my apologies for not getting onto your messages as well. I will be looking at them going forward and trying to catch up with everybody. And if you want to leave us a message, you know, even if it's to have a rant at me about how appallingly badly I've behaved in scaring y'all, please feel free to do so. I absolutely can take it on the chin. But anyway, that's everything for today. If you've liked this video, please give us a like. It really helps us out. Another alarm going past. And if you like this kind of content, you might want to consider subscribing. I've left all my details in the description box just in case you want to contact me for any reason. But thank you very much for taking a few moments out of your day to spend with me and for all your support. Bye!